Hey guys, it's Mia, and today we're just gonna be hanging out while I make some cool stuff. Hopefully it turns out cool. Uh, I've been seeing these tic-tac-toe boards all over the place, and I've always wanted to make one, but I haven't, gotten around to it yet. I kinda tried to make one with air dry clay, but it didn't turn out so great, because I'm not 100% skilled with painting. Like, I can do it, but doesn't look amazing, you know? So it's harder with air dry clay because you have paint on it afterwards. Polymer clay, on the other hand, is way more up my alley. So we're gonna use that to make the tic-tac-toe boards. I haven't seen anyone do this. I'm sure it's been done, but I just haven't seen it. So I thought, why not give it a try? And why not have someone to keep me company while I do that? So let's get started. Okay, I have something to tell you. I was editing, realized I had 2 hours of footage. I'm not even exaggerating. 2 hours of footage of me yapping away. I don't know why I didn't see this coming. I don't like to talk a lot, but I do talk a lot. Like, it just comes out. I can't stop. Apparently to the point where I was talking and not doing anything. I was just yapping and just talking like I didn't have something I was supposed to be working on. So the rest of this video, moving forward, is going to be 2x speed with the voice effect, because I think it makes it sound better than if I just sped it up normally. And trust me, I'm doing you a favor because there's a lot. This video, after cutting down the 2 hours, is still 40 minutes long. And I don't want a 40-minute long video for maybe later down the line if that's what people want. Right now, no. So I just cut my forehead off the whole time I was talking about that. Yeah. Enjoy this video in 2x speed from now on.
Okay, so unfortunately, I can't find the most perfect setup. It's good, but if I lean forward a little, my forehead may be cut off a little, and I can't really do stuff like that. I can't really on. But I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna care if my forehead's slightly cut off, so it's fine for now. I got a better tripod coming tomorrow, so hopefully my future videos will be way better. The only thing about this doing with polymer clay is I know it's gonna take up a chunk. Like, the base of it is probably gonna take up a good amount of clay, so that's gonna be interesting to work around. And let's get started. I'm gonna try not to make this super tutorial-y. If you guys want one, let me know. I'm saying you guys to my 2 subscribers, by the way, so thanks, Mom. I didn't give you a few tips if that's what you want, but I'm kind of just gonna chit chat and hang out. I'm putting rubbing alcohol in here because that is what I use to clean up my clay pieces. Alright, so I don't have too much to talk about at the moment, but once I get going, I know I'm gonna come up with much stuff. So I'm just gonna get started, and I'm kind of explaining to you here and there what I'm doing, but I'm not gonna make it like a full-on craft video, you know? I'm trying to think of an idea of what exactly I want to do. I had this idea of doing a sun, and then kind of having rainbows and teardrops, not teardrops, raindrops. I don't know why I made this. In the tic-tac-toe spots. And that would be cute, so I think I'm gonna try to do that. What are you doing? I don't know what he's doing. We're just gonna. So I'm hoping actually this part might not take up too much time. We're gonna take the yellow and so I don't know what to talk about. I thought about doing a little hey, this is me, since this is only my second video. So I was like, maybe I could be hey, this is me, things about me, whatever. But that might be kind of boring to listen to, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it's boring or not, but I feel like it could be, and I don't want to be boring at all. All right, guys. I found you some questions. I don't know if they're gonna be interesting, but I found them. We're gonna go with it. All right, so. I've already said I'm gonna start out with a few me questions, I guess. My name's Mia. We already know that. I am in college. I like to do crafts, and I'm currently in the process. I started a small business in 2020, like the rest of the world. Yes, I know everyone started one. I started a small business. I started because it was something I always wanted to do. I always wanted to I always make clay stuff. Polymer clay was one of the main things I started with when I was 10. So I always wanted to make stuff and sell it. Ever since whatever it was, I didn't care what I was selling when I was little. I care now, trust me. But when I was little, I wanted to do it so bad. So I started a small business, and I'm currently in the process of trying to revamp it up. I did a little, I guess, kind of marketing thing. It was my first one of selling my products out in public. Usually just post it on Instagram. My mom posted it on Facebook, and our friends would buy it. But my first market thing, I was kind of hey, this is kind of cool. I kind of want to do this more. It's kind of nice to see people you don't know kind of interested in your stuff, and that's kind of oh, that's kind of fun, And then these people like my stuff, and they like it, they buy it, and it makes me happy. It makes them happy. Everyone's happy, So I started to. I got a little busy because of college and whatever. But now I'm still a little busy, but I'm not crazy busy. So I'm in the process of trying to revamp this thing. I still like what I sell, but I want to make more stuff, and I want to start doing markets and stuff. So maybe this could also be something that I sell. Same with YouTube, pretty much. I've always wanted to do it, just never got the courage to upload a video because I was always scared. Now I've realized what's the worst that could happen, so I'm fine. And it makes me happy, so yeah. I'm gonna go with this size. That might be a little too small, I don't know. But when I do start doing markets and stuff, I plan to like make videos about it and stuff, so hopefully that'll be a nice topic, you know? This might be a little too small. I don't know. It's pretty tiny tic-tac. But I'm gonna add like rings around the edge, so it might be fine. We're gonna leave it for now and see how it goes. Okay, another issue for me is I get really sidetracked really easily, so sometimes I don't finish my thought, or sometimes I start with one half of a sentence and then I end in a totally different area, you know? So I'm gonna try my best to stay on track, but forgive me if I kind of go a little wild. Anything else? I don't know. Hello? Okay, so I already told you why I started YouTube, why my small business, and that I'm in college. I think I covered the basis of me. I'm sure more will come up later. Let's get to our random questions. Well, I continue kneading this clay and mixing it up. And this might still not be enough. I gotta add more. Alright, so we got, do you listen to podcasts and which ones? I, at first, was not a big podcast person because I have a hard time like focusing on it. And just listening to people talking was kind of like, but watching the podcast on YouTube for some reason was like, game changer for me. And I started to like, oh my gosh, no. I started to kind of get into like watching them. But like I would watch them, but there were times I still listen to them. I know it doesn't make sense, like that I would put them on YouTube and for some reason I could listen to them. I'm very aware that makes no sense. But for some reason in my head it makes sense. Which ones? Recently I have been listening to Sidetrack podcast with Samantha Joe and Andrew. Love them, by the way. Big fan of, oh my gosh, I just dropped it basically. I'm a big fan of Sam. That's actually how I started watching the podcast. I like Andrew too, don't worry. But I do love Sam. I think she like kind of is what really made me like be like, you know, I am gonna like do YouTube. I've wanted to do for so long. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump on it, you know? Another podcast I watched, which they actually just released their last episode yesterday, is I watched the Cut the Camera podcast with the Sternilo triplets. I love them so much. I think they're so funny. And I still am gonna watch their content, obviously. But sorry, my thing turned off. But I was kind of sad to see it go, but I understood why they wanted to stop doing it. Makes sense to me. Other than that, those are the only two I consistently listen to every week. Every once in a while, I listen to Wild to Nine with Lord DIY because I used to be a huge fan of her when I was younger. I had a merch and everything. So I listened to it a little bit. I want to get back into it, but I always feel so intimidated because it's like there's so many episodes, and I always feel like for some reason I have to catch up on things. Like I can't just like start it. And I know it's fine if I just start it in the middle. Like no one's gonna have an issue, and there is no issue with it. It's not like a series. Like you don't have to watch it back and forth. But for some reason to me it just feels wrong. Okay, that's probably about it about podcasts. I don't know if I could ever have a podcast. I talk a lot, but I would need topics to talk about. Like right now, as you see. All right, this orange clay is like still not perfectly mixed, so I'm gonna put it in my pasta roller. It's actually not pasta roller, it's war clay, but it's the same type of idea of a pasta roller. If you were in charge of the playlist, which song would you play next? This is a tricky thing for me because I don't know if I can just pick one song, but I'm gonna do a few of my tops. So, if you didn't already look at the background, I love Harry Styles. I have actually seen him in concert 3 times, which I'm so thankful for. I love every second of it. Any Harrys out there, if you're curious, I went to Harry Week in 2022, and I went to both nights in Palm Springs, so birthday show and the night before. I literally had the best time, but some of I'm not gonna get every single one I love from him, because really, I love every single song he's ever made. I can't pick just a few, but I'm gonna name a couple. So, let me pick a few. Only Angel, love Only Angel, such a good song. It's just like, you know, like brings my mood up. Then next we have, From the Dining Table, Meet Me in the Hallway, amazing songs. Ever Since New York, gorgeous song. Two Ghosts and Sweet Creature. I mean, I'm just gonna name his whole album at this point. I think at the point, the first album is like a masterpiece. And Kiwi Live in Concert, specifically, perfection, literally. Okay, moving on to the second album, which is Fine Line, for those of you who don't know. Now this is a topic I could talk about for hours if you couldn't tell. Fine Line, I would say some of my favorites. I Will Always Be Golden and Adore You Girl. Those are, like, I love them so much. I know the album came out in December, but it's just so, like, summery to me. And it's, like, getting to be that weather right now. Soon. It's spring. But it's getting to be summer soon, and that's when I, like, Fine Line's my girl. Sunflower Moon 6. Oh, so good. I actually made my graduation cap off of that song. I'll insert a picture here. I'm editing. Make sure you put that picture. So, I also love Canyon Moon. Such a good song. Cherry's a great song. Again, if I keep going, I'm gonna name the whole thing. Those are just the first 2 that popped in my head. So, next, Harry's House. Little Freak, great song. And then also, Grape Juice, and what else do I got? Cinema. That's my song. I love that song. I don't know what it is. The second it comes on, it's just like, I feel like I'm floating or something. Daylight. I love Daylight. It's such a good song. I'm just gonna keep saying it's such a good song, but just like, it is such a good song. I'm just gonna name all of them if I keep on going. So, next, One Direction. I like One Direction. I like Harry Styles. The thing squirrely, it makes sense. Unfortunately, because I was a hater in elementary school apparently, I was not a One Direction fan in elementary school. But don't worry, I came to my senses, and I learned what I was missing out on, and now I deeply regret every moment. So, One Direction, I love Fireproof, and I love No Control, Temporary Fix, and there's a bunch more. They have so many songs. They're all good. These are just the ones that are coming to my mind right now. Oh my gosh, my cat. He was in the first video. I told you he likes my desk. Like, I wasn't kidding. He'll just crawl up here all the time. Niall. Again, One Direction, Harry Styles, and Niall. It makes sense that I like all 3. Niall, I'm seeing him in July. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be in the lawn. So that'll be fun. I went with my mom, because my mom also took me to Harry, and she also took me to Harry again, and Harry again. So now I get to see Niall with her also. She's been training. She's been listening to the songs. I won't go album by album for Niall because, if I'm being honest, I still don't have it on my race. I don't know what it is. Harry's, I learned so quick. Like, I learned his albums, his songs so fast. Niall, for some reason, my brain is like, it can't separate the albums. Like, I know the songs, but for some reason, I can't separate them. I don't know what it is. So I'm gonna keep training. Don't you worry. And yes, I say training like I'm going to like run a marathon or something. So sometimes I love from Niall. My number one is Small Talk. I love Small Talk. I also love Everywhere, Heartbreak Weather, Flicker, This Town, obviously. Still, such a good song. I love Still. It's a gorgeous song, and I really hope he sings it. Speaking of him singing it, I forgot I love Stockholm Syndrome by One Direction, and he's been singing it, and I didn't get to see it from Harry. I really hope there's some people who are like fans of these people out here, because otherwise this talk is probably really boring to you. I didn't get to see it from Harry because he didn't sing Stockholm Syndrome in the US. So Niall, please come through. Either way, if he sings Night Changes, it's fine. When Harry was in the US, he sang What Makes You Beautiful, so I got One Direction song, so it's almost like I was there. It's not. I'm just telling myself that. What else do I love from Niall? Black and White. I'll go to his newer album too. Your Patience. That's not from his newer album. I know. It just came in my head. Your Patience. The Show. Science. Meltdown. I could go on and on. They're so great. Those are my songs. A lot of people would tell me I'm weird for just listening to a few people. Actually, I got another one. He's not. I do love him. I just don't know all his songs. Hozier. Been a big fan of him. I also dance, by the way. I used to want to, ever since I heard Take Me to Church, it was someone in my dance studio who danced to it at the time. And I remember, like, obsessing over that song afterwards. Like, I was obsessing isn't even a strong enough word. Like, I listened to it all the time. And honestly, I still do. Work Song is such a great song. What's that song with the really long title I like? Angel, Small Death, and the Coding Scene. Such a long title, such a good song. Those are just a few I can name. Okay, so this one kind of talks about travel. Why not tell you the places I've been? So, I've been to LA, because I've been to Disneyland, and I also went to Harry in LA. Palm Springs, I saw Harry in Palm Springs. Where else have I been? I've been to Reno, and oh, that triangle's too small. I know I've been to Tahoe. I don't remember it though. My mom says I was pretty. I asked her one time, she said I was little, and I was like, oh, clearly, I don't remember it at all. I'd love to go again though, because I know it's like really pretty. But I'd love to go again sometime. Maybe I will. In 8th grade, there was a New York and DC trip. It was supposed to be like educational. I went on that. My mom came with me. If you can't tell, my mom's like my best friend. I talk about her a lot. But I'm gonna use this little like silicone tool a little and kind of try to like smooth the edges a little bit more. And I'm kind of gonna try to do that while I talk. I remember that trip being a lot of fun. It was so long ago. Now, I mean, really, it wasn't that long ago, but it was really fun. Like, even though it was supposed to be like educational, we still did get to see like a lot of things. Where do we go to? I know we went to George Washington's house in Virginia. Is that where that is? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna sound really dumb if I don't get that right. I'm not good at geography in any way. Like, I don't know what it is. It doesn't comprehend in my brain. I can never remember it. I can't get it right, you know. Okay, I came across this like issue because when I pick this up, they're gonna come up in separate pieces. We're gonna try to get with this. I'm gonna talk and also take a lot of focus. So yeah, we went to Washington, DC, and we also went to where did we go? New York. Oh my gosh. In New York, I remember I liked New York a lot better. Yes, Washington DC was really pretty, and it was, but as an 8th grader, it was more history based, and I just was there to like have a great time, you know. I did learn a lot though, and it was fun. Oh my gosh, all my work just came off. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put a thin layer on the back because I'm gonna lift up my camera so you can see. So there it is, but as you see, like around the edges, they're not really connected to the yellow. I kind of had a feeling this was gonna happen, but I was kind of for some reason just holding out hope that it would stick. So you know, we're gonna put a really thin orange circle on the back of it so that everything can stick together. That's about all oh my gosh. I went to Florida. I went to Disney World in Florida. It was really fun. I remember it was still like, it wasn't COVID times, but it was like you still had to wear masks inside, but you didn't have to outside. Like, it was like that period of time, you know? That's pretty much all the places I've been. Places I'd like to go. Let's talk about that. Bora Bora. I wanted to go to Bora Bora literally since I was probably like, what, it was 2017, so I was probably like 12. I wanted to go there so bad. I don't know, like, I've had a hard time with myself. I was like, ooh, there's no way I'm getting there. But you know, it's so pretty and gorgeous, and I want to go so bad. So maybe one day I'll go. If I like win the lottery or something. I don't know. I also want to go to Italy really bad. Just because, I don't know, I just kind of always have to go. Oh no, my clay got stuck. That's great. I'm gonna have to figure out how to take this thing apart because I know there's clay stuck in there. But this kind of stinks because I kind of needed that. I also want to go to Greece too. I feel like that would be like gorgeous. I'm a little nervous about this. I'm gonna put some liquid Sculpey on the back of this. Hope that kind of helps it like stick. All right, my pets. I know you're all dying to hear about them. Let's start with the first. Let's go way back. We're gonna talk about all my pets because that's something I can talk about for a long time. This is not coming out, if you can tell. All right, so the first pet I remember having is my dog Lolo. She does not live with me, but she doesn't live with me currently. She did. She's a little Chihuahua Beagle. I'll put a picture of the pets up on the screen, by the way. She's a sassy little thing. I don't know what that dog's doing back there. I don't know how old I was when I got her. I want to say I was like 4 or 5. She's still alive. Yeah, she's really sassy. She loves to sunbathe. And yeah, she's a great dog. She's pretty old now. I don't know math, but you know. I don't know what that was about. Next dog I remember getting is my dog Mary. I'll put her up on the screen. She's a pit bull. And she is like the sweetest little thing. She barely even barks. And we got her. She was running on a street by herself, in the middle of a street, and there was like cars coming and stuff everywhere. There's a motorcycle. I'm sure you can hear it. She was like running around on the street. And I remember me and my mom were like freaking out. I was little. I was probably like, how old was I? I think my brother was like 3, so I was probably like 6 or 7, honestly. And yeah, she was running around on the street. There was cars flying by, and she like had her tail tucked between her legs, and she just looked scared. And we were like, oh, we gotta help this dog. And I remember me and my mom had just gotten back from the grocery store. So we had some lunch meat in the car, and so we like lured her over to our car with lunch meat, but she wouldn't get in the car. And we couldn't get her to get in the car. So we were kind of bummed out. We were like, okay, we'll go home, and then we'll kind of hope and see if we can get her back. And we got home, and she was at our house. And we were like, what the heck? Like inside our house. And my stepdad said that that some kids came by and like asked if we wanted her because she'd been following the kid around like for a long time. And so we were like, yeah, sure. Or my stepdad was like, yeah, sure. And she's lived with us ever since. I remember when I first saw her because she was living on the street. She was so buff, it was kind of scary. But she is like the sweetest thing, and she's so cute. Next we have Lucas. He passed away in 2021. I don't remember the year. I can't remember it right now. But we got him as a puppy. Our friend had their dogs got pregnant by accident, and they were trying to just get rid of the puppies. When they were first born, they were all brown and white, and he was black and white, and he was the only one that was black and white. And the parents weren't black and white or anything, so my mom was like, oh, I want him because, he's different. And he was the sweetest dog ever. Like, he would lay down and he would cuddle you, and like, he was just so sweet. He's so cute, and I love him, and I miss him. Okay, next pets. I grew up around chickens. Lots of chickens. I remember me and my brother would always be scared of the chickens at first, but those were fine. Next is lots of fish too. We grew up around a lot of fish. There he is again. He really wants me to get to him and talk about him. Yeah, but we grew up around chickens, and we had ducks at one point. Fish, chickens. We had a bird too. I had birds at my dad's house and at my stepdad's house. One of the birds that I remember the most is this bird. His name was Cinna, and he used to sing, and he couldn't fly because people like clipped his wings, so he couldn't fly. And he would always follow you around, and he would sit on your shoulder and just like hang out, and he would sing. He was like a dog basically. Like, he followed you around, like, just by walking everywhere and stuff. It was so cute. And he would knock on doors. He was the cutest thing. So now we'll move on to other pets. Hamsters. I had 3 hamsters in my day. Oh my gosh, they kind of ran away. I didn't have 3 at once, but they did run away. I remember I was very devastated. They were little dwarf hamsters. I don't have pictures of them because I didn't have a phone at the time or anything. But I remember I was kind of obsessed with them. The front looks alright. We gotta fix that back though. I also had 2 guinea pigs as well. I don't have pictures of them either. But that covers about all my pets I had when I was younger. Now we'll move on to my current pets I have living in my house. First pet we got was Baby May. I'll put her. I think she's sitting on my desk right now. I have a bunch of stuffed animals in my desk, so she loves to lay on them. But she's the definition of sassy. She thinks she's a little princess, but she's really sweet, and she is also like, she's a Velcro dog for sure. But she's the cutest, and we love her. She's also really picky. Like, sometimes we'll give her a treat, and she doesn't like it. She has no issue telling it, but she does not like it. Next, after Bailey, Bailey we wanted a dog, and my mom's allergic to dogs, so we didn't want to, she's actually allergic to dogs and cats. So she wanted to get a hypoallergenic dog, and we were talking about it, my dad was like, oh, my friend's dog just had puppies, so, like, do you want one? And we were like, yeah. So we went over, and we wanted a brown Maltipoo. Turns out, that one was taken, and Bailey came over and lay on my brother's feet. There's my cat again. He really wants to be down. And she laid on his feet, and we were like, okay, we'll take you down. You're cute. And turns out they're not Maltipoos, but we don't really care about breeds like that, so. She's still a hypoallergenic dog. She's mostly a miniature poodle. Next, we have my cat, Luca. He's actually sitting right here, but if I pick him up, he's gonna freak out, so I'm not gonna do that. We got him, so my auntie had found cats in her. Are you okay? Did you just fall? My cat just fell. Are you alright? Okay. I guess he's fine. So my aunt had found cats outside, and one of them had gone into heat, and my little cousin, who was like my bestie, was sad because the cat was crying to be let out. It wasn't crying to be let out, it just was, was in heat. And the other 2 cats weren't fixed yet. My cousin opened the door. Yeah, so they had kittens, and Luca is not one of those kittens. This is a part of the story, I promise. So they had kittens, they kept them in a room, and they were waiting for them to get old enough, and they were gonna give them out. And one time, my little cousin was playing in his backyard, and he came inside. This is how, from my aunt's point of view, right? He came inside, and he was like, oh, I found a cat, and he's holding this little, like, when I say little, like, I mean, like, this big of a kitten in his hands. And my aunt's like, did one of our cats get out? How would they have gotten out? The room's over here, backyard's over here, like, that doesn't make sense. And so they put the cat inside with other kittens, and they quickly realized that the kittens they have are, like, this big, and that kitten that my cousin had found was, like, this big, like, clearly way younger cat. So they're like, well, and we don't have any missing, so it's not our cat. But they went outside, looked for more, there wasn't anywhere, it was just him. And we took him, and his name was Luca. Because when I tell you he was tiny, I'll put another picture. Like, he was way too tiny. He probably shouldn't have been away from his mom. But because he was hanging out with older cats, he just started eating cat food and learned how to use litter box. And I was like, oh, cool, And then next, we got Wesley from a local animal shelter. They posted his picture online. I'll show you that picture. This is what, like, really, we were like, okay, we'll get him. But we went online and we looked at his intake photo. I'll put that right here because it's really funny. But, oh my gosh, he looked wild, that's for sure. But we were like, okay, we'll get him. So we went and we met him, and he was the cutest little thing, and we got him. Then, a few weeks ago in February, we decided to get another dog. That dog, he's a little wild. We got him from the same animal shelter we got Wesley, and he is a terrier mix. We don't know exactly what he is, but he's cute, and he's a bit of a menace, but he's a cute boy. Let me know if you guys like this style of video where I just kind of like craft and just kind of, you know, we just chit chat kind of a little. Or if you like more of a like how my last one was, where it was kind of just like make this with me. But if you guys are up for it, I would totally make one of these again. And maybe even have like some questions be asked or whatever. We'll see how this goes, and we'll see, you know, how everything is. I think this would have been a lot easier if I didn't want to have two different color clays sticking right next to each other. About my small business, I will put the Instagram that I'm hoping to be more active on soon down below if you guys are interested in following that. Alright, so half of them done. And now I just have to make the little pieces. I'm gonna make a rainbow, and I'm gonna make a, what's it called? A raindrop. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. Alright, here we go. Now we have our 3 rainbow colors. Yes, I know these aren't actual rainbow colors, but I'm just gonna go with basics. And actually, after looking at it, I kind of want a slightly darker pink because I feel like it doesn't mix as good. I'm gonna put these 3 colors through the same.
Hey guys, it's voiceover Mia here, and I said a whole lot of nothing in the next like 20 minutes of a clip, so I'm gonna fast forward it for you. So enjoy some music while you wait.
So I have each piece done. We're gonna see how this goes. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm gonna go ahead and bake them in my oven. Yeah, I'll see you when it's done baking.
Hey guys, so it is actually the next day, and I'm gonna show you what this turned out like. So it turned out okay. I don't know if I'm gonna sell it. I tried to use a little file to kind of like fix the back. You can see it just is really textured, and I just don't love when it's textured like that. It also got a little crack right here, so I don't know how that happened actually, because I've never really had that happen before. I've never had an issue with it. But here's my little raindrops, and here is one of the little rainbows. One rainbow got a little burnt for some reason, but nothing else did. That's the weird thing about clay. It's like not even burnt. He knows when I turn the camera on, I swear. The like blue got discolored though. But everything works. Everything fits together. If I wanted to play tic-tac-toe with myself right now, I definitely could. I'm gonna glaze this with resin, I think. And probably not gonna sell it, just gonna keep it for me, which is fine. Like, have no issue. But you know, I think it turned out okay. I hope you enjoyed this video. I yapped a lot, I talked a lot, but I got something kind of cool out of it, so that's cool. I will see you guys next time. Bye.